Hello, welcome to Lime War. Today we have Z Goober Meester, which is going to be Goober from now on. He started here. He's got the mountains here, but Warlord Prinny has started over here. And I have tried to release this match before already, so I do kind of know what's going to happen. We have two nukes on the field right away, which is a problem. Okay, so we've got 25 energy. He's going to need to put some money into energy here, but he also needs to pay 500 for another rocket here. He's going to have problems straight away, but it's an interesting tactic. Maybe they can be useful. So, the reason I couldn't upload this originally was because, well, I tried to. I released it, 8 viewers, I think, and a couple of you realised there's no audio, so I had to fix that. Someone, I think, had messed with my OBS settings, and it's confused things. So I've had to get rid of a few videos, unfortunately, and they're both currently expanding. Z-Goober has gone for 2 airfields, 3 factories. There we go. And he's got an energy well just there. So he could make use of that. Warlord Prinny has he's still struggling with his economy right now, which I'm not surprised with, to be honest, but he is expanding, so he should be able to fix that soon. And also, one of the matches that I lost was against Kuruk, and I battled him, and I promised him that it would be out on Monday, which unfortunately just isn't going to happen anymore, because the files broke as well, so I do apologise for that, and if you are watching Kuruk, I will happily rematch you anytime soon, when I have the availability to do so. And I would like to point out in this, so he's trying to work on his economy, but Warlord has, on Discord, accused Goober of using an aimbot. I'm not sure what an aimbot is used for in Lime War, but I'm pretty sure it was only banter anyway, so I wouldn't take it seriously. It did look lighthearted. It's kind of funny to see, so I thought it would be a good title to use. And it looks like Goober has put a town right here, but little does he know, and little will he know, because he's not expanding this way, that Warlord he can already see the town. So Warlord already knows his town's there. He's got his energy well set up, so he can fire a second rocket when he pays for and builds one. But he will be able to figure out very quickly where his stuff is to be able to use this nuke extremely well. We'll have to see whether he actually does so. So both players are expanding really well right now. Why not take a look at the economy? Both players have taken, let's say, a different approach. So we've got Warlord having 330 per minute, but he's also losing 200 per minute. On the other side of things, we have Goober, who is gaining 400 per minute and losing 270. It surprises me that his outgoings is more, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, he's got 5 more productions than Prinny, but he's already paid and built for that rocket, so basically he's got only upkeep costs, not actually outgoings. He's also redirected these units to come down this way to help fight against Goober soon, which Goober doesn't even see coming because the town does not have any field of view really whatsoever. But Prinny has realised, I assume because he hasn't seen anyone yet and he's expecting that he's not in these areas, that he could be exposed in this area. And feeling vulnerable, he's sending some of these units down. I say some, but this is actually quite a sizable force this early on in the game. So, I don't know when he'll see them. But Warlord Prinny has a pretty good idea on where the enemy is right now. And he is sending a few units himself there. I think Goober is going to have the advantage there, because I think Goober does outnumber him, and he's also going all in one place. But looking on his side, he can see Warlord right now. He has no idea what's to come, though. Seeing his units here, he should probably have spread this line out a bit more. Maybe like 2, 3, 4 lines, maybe, to set these units up into more of a line shape. Or he could have done a defense... There you go. A defense line. I was going to suggest the orange version, so he doesn't actually dig in and lose health. But by the looks of things, he's expecting to lose this town. And I think he could have saved it, and also Warlord could have destroyed it. So Considering Goober's going back, Warlord set up this line here, this bit over exaggerated line. Oh, he's got his second rocket going, look. There we go. So we have the second rocket coming now. He set up the defensive line for that, but I reckon he could have took this structure up beforehand, which would have hit Goober's economy, making it a bit harder for him to attack. Oh, and I've just noticed he's not building strikers. I get the transports for commandos, but he's gone for anti-air instead. Which usually, this early on, using interceptors is not usually the case. Not a good idea. Unless you're expecting a lot of air units to attack you. Which could be possible. One of the main tactics in this game is to start with 3 airfields. Or at least it was at one point. So he's sending his strikers that way, but he's only got 1 striker at the minute. 2 now. He's just been produced. And it looks like all of these barracks are producing commandos. So those strikers are going to come in and pretty much get some free hits on these. The infantry can shoot the strikers, but they're not really going to do much damage to them, and I doubt they're going to take one out. So, Goober has set up his defense line in the forest. Warlord is setting his rocket off to go towards, I assume, the forest. I don't know where that's actually going to hit. So from Goober's side, he can see the rocket coming in now. He's trying to move these units out of the way, I think, or... yeah, there we go. But he took out most of his own units. Warlord took out maybe half of his own units before he was able to attack, and he's instantly getting the second rocket going. So, considering he's got an energy wow, he can fire these rockets off one at a time constantly to hurt the enemy quite sufficiently. Gonna be like chained rockets at this point. So, Warlord is now on the move to try and take advantage of the units he killed. But I just don't think it's a good enough advantage considering he's just destroyed most of his own units. As commandos coming in now, where are they getting dropped? They're getting dropped off right here. He's expecting some eco, which is there. So that is actually a very good prediction from him. And it's forcing Warlord to bring his units back, losing that advantage he had at the beginning, giving it over to Goober. Goober's now got the advantage. But then can he get past these rockets firing constantly? And it's probably more important for Warlord to protect these rockets at this point, if this is the strategy he's going for. He still is expanding. He hasn't decided to bring those down, which is a good idea. We do lose the industry there, and we have some strikers and interceptors coming in. I am wondering if that is going to... these interceptors are going to stay here. They are, so he's trying to stop these rockets, I think. They're actually going back now. Okay. They've done their job. They're leaving. But those interceptors could shoot down this rocket if they decide to fire at it. But I think it's going to just hit down here instead. Where's he hitting with that? That's in the mountains. It's actually going to do really well. He's taken out one of the airfields. He's got another one heavily damaged. So that was a lot of his production. I think I was quite lucky, actually. I think it was a well-educated guess. And from Goober's side of it, you can still see that there's a rocket there when there isn't. Whereas on Warlord's side, he can't even see the commandos that are there, and I think they're going to take that out. There's just nothing Warlord can do about that right now. So we have a race to defend his second rocket, which is the primary part of his strategy. But he also has a lot of economy. He's just gained another 500 because the production of the rocket was replaced. I guess you could consider it insurance. But he's got a lot of economy. He could do a lot with this right now. He could build loads of stuff up in this area, in the mountains area. Or even down here and rush up from there. But we'll see what he decides to do. I actually can't remember what he decides to do. My memory is terrible. In case you're wondering whether I'm pretending I don't know, I honestly can't remember. Those commandos were hoping to get the kill on this. I think they can stay there. They should be able to stay there. He's got him trying to move away to get the energy. But he's just going to leave it. I think he can't see the production on it, and it's actually really close to being produced. And I think he decided he's got the time to go and attack this area and bring these units in. It looks like he's going for the economy instead, which is probably a good idea. That rocket, even when it fires and launches, there's not too much he can actually do, is there? A lot of the enemy is really close to him, so I think like the rocket has a minimum range. It can't fire to this area. So I think Goober is in a really strong position right now. And he, instead of trying to build tons and tons of units to take him out early, he's just going for some eco. He is predicting a long game from this. That rocket is being fired once more. So what was that? It's like 3 rockets in 11 minutes into the game. And it looks accurate, unless it's going to hit early. It's going for that airfield? No, it's going to hit early. So he's hit there, which was really ineffective. That was not cost effective. Which is unfortunate for Goober, because his second hit was absolutely on spot. So Goober's definitely going for some long-term play here. He's going to try and build up some economy. And on the flip side, we do have him spending all his money. The Warlord has gone for 3 airfields and 3 factories, which are probably not a bad idea. He's got loads of money. He hasn't got any energy, though. He's going to need to capture this really quickly if he wants to use his air units. And it looks like he's going straight into SAM units, because well, right at the beginning we saw a lot of SAM units coming in from Goober, so that's probably quite a wise idea. But he's also not going for strikers, he's going for interceptors. So he's going heavily into anti-air. But he was also hit by a lot of infantry, and he needs to have something there to deal with the infantry that's going to come up. So what's Goober doing over in the bottom here with the infantry? So he's found a barracks. I didn't spot that on the other side. He's found the barracks. He's going to take that out eventually with these commandos coming in. Don't think Warlord can see that. No, he can't see the commandos. The commandos are coming in through this area. These guys are going to die, and he won't know why. There you go. I can hear them firing now, so that's Goober getting in on the action there. He's going to take them all out. And Warlord has no idea what's going on. Up in the north, Warlord is expanding his production. He's got 1 barracks and 2 factories going up again. And yet all 3 of these are producing interceptors. And all of these are only producing SAM units. Otherwise they produced 1 of each. They'd be going into something else now if they had that option, but they're not. They're going solely into anti-air at the minute. Now from Goober's side of it, he is sending his strikers down here to try and deal with this economy, which he doesn't even need to worry about anymore. It's all gone. It looks like Goober has control of the southern part of the map now. And he is pretty happy with that. He's still expanding down here. He has actually forgotten about these guys. Well, you can get 12 eco, I think, from each territory you grab here. That's actually quite big on the economy later. So let's have a look at the economy anyway, as we're here. We've got 800 per minute for Goober. And for Warlord, we have 600. So Warlord is now heavily behind, which is as to be expected. He has lost a lot down here. And his initial strategy was quite good, but it didn't work out. And I certainly think Goober could have taken advantage of that time he had when the commandos moved in and forced Warlord to move back. But Warlord is sending his SAM units straight down to the bottom. He's not building up his forces. He's getting straight back into the battle. Let's see what he can do with these SAM units. There you go. He's got 3 more coming in a minute. He's taking out these commandos. They're stealth, so Warlord actually can't see them. I think they're commandos. That one's an infantry. Yeah. They've got the commandos here. They're going to be stealth for Warlord, which is unfortunate for him, because he won't be able to see those guys. You can see the 1 infantry there, so he's probably feeling confident, but as he gets closer, some more start to appear. And they're actually going to be quite effective at taking out the SAM units. But SAM can kill the infantry with their little machine gun mounted to them. And I think that's what he's hoping for, because the SAM do damage to infantry and air units. More effective to air units, but I think he was overestimating how effective they would be. Whereas Goober is definitely going into a casual way. He's getting eco set up and he's setting up some production in other places. He's got an airstrip built now, so his air units can start to move around the map a bit more. He still has forgotten about these units down in the south part of the map, which could be claiming him some more eco. And Warlord is losing ground against these commandos, but there aren't too many commandos in that area, so I think those SAM units will eventually push through. And they've taken out the last of the industrial areas down here, so Warlord is relying solely on the northern part of the map to try and make a comeback, and seeing what his strategy is. I'm not sure what he's planning to do. He's going to have to try and switch up and adapt to the situation that's coming. And I'm not sure he's willing to do so. I think he really loves these SAM units. On the other side of it, Goober isn't really changing up what he's doing. He's just finding what works and carrying on. He's dropping some units off at his airstrip just randomly. And I guess some of those commanders were lazy. They didn't want to make the walk. We got some strikers on an airstrip here, which would increase their range a little bit, but not too much. I think that was more to keep up production. But the SAM units are growing in numbers here, so they are actually taking out the infantry a bit better. But we do have a large bulk of infantry coming in about a minute. So he is just going to continue pushing through. He's got his line set up to carry on going. We have some units down here still taking territory, so Warlord hasn't forgotten about any. But I think that's partly because he's set up his lines to be quite diverse. They're covering a lot of the ground quite quickly, but he's got his interceptors moving in now to see what they can do against these infantry. Definitely would have been more effective if he had used strikers, because that would be a lot of strikers right now, and that might be able to change the battle. But there is a lot of infantry coming over this area. These air units will be helpful for Warlord, even if they're less effective. It is still beneficial to have them in the air right now. But I get the feeling Goober isn't planning on making this his winning strategy. He's definitely got commando activity in mind here. And I get the feeling he's just going to cross this water soon. I'm pretty sure that's what he does. Whereas Warlord, he is having to return back to his airfields to refuel. He's got his units coming over here. So he may eventually come down this way and start finding out where Goober's placed his little airfields. His airstrips. And surprisingly, they have taken a fair amount of damage, even against infantry. But Warlord is holding on to this area purely with brute force, really. Whether it's effective or not, that's what he's going for. And we have the commando activity going on now. They're going for this little forest up here. They didn't want to go into this massive forest. I mean, have you seen the film Wrong Turn? Don't want to go into a big forest like that. They're going here, which is definitely to target this. He saw the air units. He knows that Warlord is using energy. That's his only option. So Goober is targeting pretty effectively right now. But Warlord can see Goober's transport jets coming in, so he knows the commandos are coming in, but I just don't think he's going to be able to hold off that many commandos that have been dropped off right now. But the interceptors are going to come in, take out those transport jets, but they've already dropped off the commandos, so I think it might be too little too late. The commandos might even be able to save these transport jets by grounding the air units, taking away their energy supply. There we go, they all have forced to land. They didn't save the jets, but Goober has stopped Warlord from using those air units he spent so much money on. They're just going to turn around, they're going to sit here and do nothing for the remainder of the match if Warlord can't get this energy back up online. But Warlord is coming around here. He's still trying to claim territory, so his eco shouldn't be too, like, bad at this point. Got 600 per minute, which isn't actually that great. Yeah, Goober's got 1,000 per minute, but Goober has been trying to work on towns and industry, not just trying to claim territory, because he's kind of forgotten about that still. Not judging, I do that too, it's fine. But he's got more commandos coming up here, so he is planning to do another run. I think this one's straying off. I think he's forgot to get rid of the line. I think he's... I'm not sure where that's going. He's going this way again. Probably to follow this command here. But he's found the airfields. So Goober has found the airfields. He's going to try and take them out. But they've already been grounded, so I don't know if that's the best choice. The factories might be the better option. However, because these units are coming up here, it might be better to target these because it's just better trades right now. Can take away a lot of that money that he spent on these. Oh, he's got some backup there. This is where they were coming in. And those air units can't even try and fly away to another location. It's purely due to the energy, but Goober has tons of energy right now. There we go, he's lost another, and now he's going in for the factories while he can. Goober can run his air units all day if he wanted to. Don't know how many factories he's got. 2? Yeah, he's got 2 factories, but a lot of storage. Not factories, you know what I mean, the energy wells. Those commandos are going to try and get into that factory. I think they're going to destroy this one at least. Because you've got to remember the SAM just aren't that effective against infantry. It's kind of just that they can attack. It's not that they have any advantage over them. But in this sort of numbers, they are going to do well at killing them off eventually. And I think Goober's trying to target this, but it doesn't look like they're listening. They are deciding to go for these units instead, and Warlord has managed to get his energy going again. I'm not sure where his energy well is. Because he doesn't have this one yet. We've got 2 more commandos dropped in there. Right into the middle of the battle. Yeah, I'm a bit confused. I can't see it, unless I'm being blind. Oh, it's right in there. Right in the mountains. Well, you see the mountains give stealth, so I'm not too worried that I couldn't see it. But that actually has an effect. It's just my excuse. Right, the alien is being landing again, but this might be the worst possible time they could land. There is 2 commandos shooting at this heavily damaged airstrip right now, and if that blows up, these aircraft all get lost all at once. And Sam took out one of these commandos. There's one left. I don't know if he's going to save it. It looks like he might. I think that commando's going to go down. It's not doing enough damage fast enough. There you go. He's gone down. So he did manage to save the airfield. He's got another energy well going up there, so I assume he's planning to build more airfields. We have a mini battle going on up here. It looks like Warlord lost his expanding infantry. There's some artillery that Goober's placed. And the strikers are going to help out there just to make sure it's safe before them. There we go. The artillery have taken control of the north. The strikers are supporting in that direction too. Goober is attacking with his SAM that managed to win in this area of the map. He's come down from the south and bringing his air units to support from the north. But there is quite a lot of units defending here. And I don't really think Warlord is effective in any way, shape or form. These commandos are even, just 2 of them are taking on 6 SAM units. They're going to die, but they've already killed 1. And these SAM units are being shot at by the artillery just as they take out these infantry units, so they're not going to last too much longer either. We also have some more commando activity from Goober. Goober has this handled really well, despite being attacked at his industry over here. I don't think he needs to worry about this too much, and he knows that, so he's investing his time running up some hit and run attacks, harassment tactics up in the north. And I don't think he's going to cross that path. These commandos are going to get in completely unnoticed. So Warlord is distracted by the battle that's going on down here, and Goober has taken the opportunity to try and take out the energy once again, and potentially this airfield again. There we go. His commandos are in place. They are targeting that energy well straight away. I think Goober thinks this is his only one, because he has no idea about the other one down here. Oh, he might do. You can see it on the map, but I think he's got both of these now, so... There we go. Those commandos are going to probably take that factory out. It's completely undefended. It would not surprise me. He's losing the battle down here, and up here he's just lost that factory. And we're coming up to the end of the match, so I'm pretty sure Warlord decided to quit this match at this point and run onto Discord and accuse Cooper of aimbots just as a bit of banter. So I think that's kind of funny. There are 2 videos on screen right now. Have a look there, and I'll see you on one of them. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe.